Okay, so we'll do trust, static, and then music is my medicine.
Yeah.
All right.
1,
I followed your rules, I played your games. Ooh, ain't gonna change. I'm done with you and with your lies. You won't even apologize. I trusted you, trusted me. I told the truth, turn on me. I wanna run, wanna hide. Just get away from this lie. You said you'd listen, but you lied to me. Just get away and leave me be. Just leave me alone and walk away. Whoa, you ain't gonna stay. I trusted you, trusted me. I told the truth, turn on me. I wanna run, wanna hide. Just get away from this lie. I trusted you, trusted me. I told the truth, turned on me. I wanna run, wanna hide. Just get away from this lie. Cool, thank you. That was our original called Trust. This one is called Static. I know what I did wrong. I know what I did right, but I know all the shit I did that was wrong. Yes, I know. I know that I was wrong. that you love me. But you would not let me be free. And I know all the shit you did that was wrong. Yes, I know. I know that we were wrong. But the times, it will change. And the world, it will change. But we will always stay the same. We will always stay the same. Have you changed up your act yet? I know that you didn't, but I know that it will hurt you in the end. Yes, I know. I know it already did. But the times, they will change. And the world, it will change. And you will always stay the same. You will always stay the same. You will always stay the same. Thank you. That was our original called Static. This is our last song. It's called Music is My Medicine. How can I describe feelings that I have? My whole world seems to be going mad. What's right is wrong, what's wrong is right. What happened to the light? I can't give up, I can't give in. sweat. Music is my medicine, oh, it's better than a drug. When I'm feeling down and out, put my headphones on. I get lost in the music for hours at a time. It's the only thing that saves me from the darkness inside. There's gotta be a change. Something's got to give. My messed up world can't go on like this. Losing all the fun along the way. I just wanna run and drown it all away. I can't give up, I can't give in. I won't let through the darkness win. Music is my medicine, oh, it's better than a drug. When I'm feeling down and out, I pull my headphones on. I get lost in the music for hours at a time. It's the only thing that saves me from the darkness inside. My medicine, oh, it's better than a drug. When I'm feeling down and out, I put my headphones on. I get lost in the music for hours at a time. It's the only thing that saves me from the darkness inside. Cool, thank you. Hopefully it sounds good.
Not. Could you wear it with a croc?
Yeah,
Okay.
you could. If you have like little pins inside of the Crocs that have like guitars on them, I think it would work really well.
David, sock fetish?
Well, I don't really get the point of having
Yes.
anything longer than like this.
You're an ankle sock guy.
Yeah, when there comes a point where it's just too long and they're not comfortable anymore for me. I don't get it. Like, I don't know why.
Anneshirely?
I mean, I'm more of a Crocs lazy man kind of type shoe. Just slip them on your feet and you're ready to go. So I'm a big fan of those Crocs. But when it comes to socks itself, no thanks. I want to be free.
The great Crocs and socks debate. Of the
Usually
Primavera
shoes
Roadhouse.
or nothing. Just
Okay, guys, that was it for tonight. I think we
Cool.
probably need to just give this up now.
Okay.
Nah, welcome down, guys. We have Zack and Dawid. You just
Yeah.
played 3 of your original tunes for us. Thank you for that. And Shirley,
Hey.
welcome back.
Welcome back. And thanks for having me, y'all. It's always good to be back at the Roadhouse.
That's right. Good to have you here. So, do you have a name for the duo?
Z and D.
It's not very original. It's just
Z&D.
Yeah, you're right. We can work on that.
All right.
We'll spitball some ideas. But
Cool.
When did Z and D get together? How long have you guys been playing together?
Well, originally we were a band, and then
rest in peace.
yeah,
Rest in peace
and
to
then
the
the other
band.
members kind of broke off, and so then it just me and Dave kind of stuck together, and we've been playing since I think 2019, or
Sounds
as an
about right.
acoustic duo at least since 2019.
Was it a Yoko Ono moment that broke the band apart? Like, what happened?
What? Tell us.
What's Yoko Ono? Well, I mean, I know what it is, but
I'm gonna drink some coffee and be old.
it was just kind of creative differences that really broke us off, I think.
Yeah. Well, I can go into depth.
Oh no.
Okay.
Yeah, so basically, we had a drummer, a bass player, and then both of us. So what happened one time is I got into like producing my own music, I had Easy Drummer, like a plugin that helps me
Nice.
program
Nice.
drums, and then I had a bass guitar, and I had my own guitars, and the only thing I couldn't record was vocal. So what I did was I recorded this demo.
Because of I'm Done, right?
Yeah, I'm done. It's
It's trash night here at the
yeah,
Roadhouse. We'll just give this a moment.
yeah, we were. So I made the demo. I invited Zach to come over and do some vocals, and then we finished it and we showed it to the band, and they're like, okay, cool, but for the final release we're gonna have like real drums because it's
Yeah.
more authentic that way. And so then we ended up going on a similar podcast type of thing, but I think it was
It was a
live
radio
stream.
show.
It was.
It was like a college radio station.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I think they asked for a demo, and what we gave was the one that we worked on.
Yeah.
And so I think that's what that was the
I think
main.
that would kind of pushed it.
Yeah, there was another part. I forgot already, but it was.
Creative differences.
Oh yeah, right. I replaced.
Just go with answer A.
and,
Quick and to the point. All this is. I'm digging this story over here, right? I get it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, now I remember. We were in this battle of the bands thing, and we won.
Oh,
Nice.
humility.
Yeah, and a part of the prizes was that you can record like a full band in the studio, and so we did that. But the way
we
that
ended up recording I'm Done.
yeah, exactly. And the main I wanted to mix it, because honestly, no shade, but the demo that we got was I don't know, not up to my standards. I thought I could do better, basically. So I got the raw tracks, and what I ended up doing was I replaced some of her drums with samples, and that wasn't a good idea, I would say.
Well, because it was just a demo. So what we were gonna do, because she had like a whole like recording setup inside of her house for her drums and stuff. So what we were gonna do is we were gonna have her re-record her drums, but for the demo we just kind of took the Easy Drummer thing.
I don't think I was treating it as a demo. I think I wanted to be like a final release.
Wow. Okay.
I don't know. It was a
Creative
long time ago.
differences.
I was a dumb kid. But yeah. So yeah, and then I went to Great America with a couple of friends, and then we got a text saying,
Oh yeah, I was there too.
yeah,
We all went.
saying the drummer said she was gonna leave, and
then
promptly
like a couple minutes later,
the bass
bassist
player
said
also
it,
said
too.
she was gonna leave.
Oh no,
Yeah.
they felt like dominoes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then
Creative
Z&D
differences.
happened.
Yeah.
And then Z&D was the new planet that came out of it all.
Yep.
Gotcha.
And then David got a haircut and
Oh
went
yeah.
to Poland for a month or two.
Yeah.
How was that? How was going back to Poland?
Well, I always like it a lot because, I don't know where to begin. So,
It all started when I was born.
yeah, well, I like Poland a lot because I feel like the climate during the summer is just perfect. Sometimes you get rain and thunder, and that's a good thing because I feel like you don't get that enough in California. The sun, there's sun sometimes, and the temperature is about like, I don't know, like 22 Celsius.
Mm.
I don't know what's that in Fahrenheit, but it's really comfortable, right?
It's probably in the 60s, right? Somewhere around there.
Probably.
Yeah.
Did you write any good music while you were out there in Poland?
In Poland, I usually don't write. I just that's my opportunity to gig because that's like the place that we know a lot of people.
Right?
And so yeah, there's this pub, or not a pub, but like this music club that I play in. It's like blues oriented, and it's pretty cool.
Nice.
Oh yeah, you played Valor and Divine there, right?
Valorant.
No, Valor.
Valor, yeah. So yeah, that was I played my own originals there.
Yeah, he released like an album or like an EP
yeah.
before that, before he went, and then so when he
That's
got there, I
awesome.
guess he played. It was pretty cool.
Yeah.
Supporting the EP.
Right.
That's what you got to do.
Yeah.
So, how do you guys both write? Like, what's that process like for you?
Well, I write lyrics, and then he writes music, but I also write guitar parts. He writes the cooler parts.
Well,
I mean, like, how does the song come together,
Yeah.
right?
Well, usually I'll just come to him. I'll be like, "Hey, I got a riff and some lyrics," and then he'll usually try to work with that, and then add some stuff or take away some stuff. And sometimes we're like, "Hey, maybe not that part," and then we just kind of go back and forth with that, and it ends up working out, I think.
Yeah.
No, it sounded like it to me. Certainly, it works out.
Yeah.
What was the first song that you guys wrote?
I think it was Music Is My Medicine.
Yeah, you
Wow.
wrote that one,
Wow.
what,
That
Yeah,
was
That's a
sixth
strong
grade?
start.
7th or 8th grade, I think,
Yeah,
is when we wrote that.
Yeah.
Nice.
2 years ago now.
Well, but you wrote the lyrics and you were in 6th.
No,
Was it 7th?
7th.
Okay.
The summer of 7th grade. Yeah.
So how long have you been playing? Have you been playing guitar, Zach?
Not very long, or probably since actually 7th grade,
Mm.
honestly. So yeah, I've been singing since way before that, but
Just
7th grade for guitar.
walking around singing. That's what the great thing about the voice,
Yeah.
right? It's the instrument that's always with you if you have that capability.
Yeah.
David, when did you come to it?
I think around 4th grade.
Wow. Getting started early.
Especially
Yeah.
writing such like powerful songs like Music Is My Medicine
Yeah.
at like 12 years old. Come
Yeah.
on. Now that's talent. I mean,
Thank you.
I really loved being able to like listen to you rock out on stage. And I'm kind of curious to know, where does that come from with you? Like what inspires you to write music?
I don't know.
It's a big question, I know.
What inspires me to write music?
Or like specifically that song.
Oh, that song.
Yeah.
I just kind of had like, I think I said something like in the car to my mom, and then I think I said, "Oh yeah, music is my medicine," and then it just kind of I was like, "Oh, that's pretty cool. That sounds
Yeah.
kind of good."
I never heard that story.
Yeah, no, and then I just kind of started writing it out and stuff. I don't really know how I write lyrics. I just write a bunch of stuff, and then I pick and choose little bits and pieces from there.
Definitely. Cool.
I ask this of all songwriters that come down here. Like, do you sit down, like, and go like, I want to take time to write a song right now, or is there, like you said, like a word that comes to you, a riff that comes to you, and there's kind of like the spark that sets it off?
Well, it kind of changes. So like sometimes I'll be like, I want to sit down and write, and then I'll write for like maybe an hour or two, and or other times I'll just be like walking around and I'll be talking with people and I'll just say something and I'm like, oh, that's it. That sounds pretty cool. And then there's other times where I'm just about to go to bed and I'm like, I just write random stuff. A lot of the times it sounds terrible and it doesn't work at all, but
A lot of
sometimes
the
it does.
times you just rip off songs.
Well, it's not ripping off if I think I write something that sounds good and then I'm like, oh shoot, that's that's already a thing. Yeah.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's where the influence comes from, right? I mean, your mimicry is the highest form of flattery, right? I mean,
Yeah.
of course. And so when you're inspired by these things, and then it's like, how do you filter that through your own process and your own brain and your own
Yeah.
style?
Right.
And then like, that's why,
Yeah.
like, I don't know genres. I really don't know genres. Like, people talk about like subgenres and then subgenres of subgenres and all this stuff. I'm
Yeah.
like, I got no idea. But I hear a song and I'm like, oh, that's like a that song, you know? Because
Yeah.
let me tell you, man, they've all been written before. You know,
Yeah.
it's just our version of that song is what any songwriter should be striving for. Is just, how do I want to translate the same thing? I mean, it's like, oh, I wrote a love song. Great. You know,
Yeah.
fantastic, because the world needs another love song. And yet, you can write a love song tonight and it'd be like a hit. You know, it's
Right.
Yeah.
insane. And that's the joy of all art, I think.
Yeah.
You know, is that you get to put your own interpretation, your own filter and device through all of it to create something.
Yeah.
Definitely.
I want to ask specifically about Static. And did you say that was your most recent?
Yeah.
Okay.
Well,
So
for
I
the songs that we
really
played
liked I know maybe it's like pre-chorus area where you say something about my shit and then the line after that, and then the second time that you come around you reverse that and it's your shit.
Yeah.
And everything. So hit me with those lyrics.
It was all the shit you did that was wrong, and then before that was all the shit I did that was
Right.
wrong.
Yeah. And then the line after that.
The line after that,
Yeah.
for the chorus,
I thought it changed up one more time, but maybe
And
it's
the-
just the
and the
okay.
time,
Maybe it's
and the world, it will change. The world, the time it will change, and the world it will change, but we will stay the same.
Nice. Well, it was good writing, switching that around. I love doing that kind of advice where you take the same thought that, you know, you're projecting onto yourself or onto someone else and then reverse it. Because
Yeah.
that is the truth, right? You know, everyone is imperfect. Everyone is
Yeah.
going to mess up. Everyone is going to get down inside of their own quagmire and their own shit, you know, and
Yeah.
wallow around in it for a little while, you know, and it's
Yeah.
like great partnerships, I think, are the ones that can look at that and be able to step back and be like, you know what? It's like shit rolling time. You
Yeah.
know, that's
Yeah.
just where they need to be right now. And we'll just kind of step back and let them roll around for a little bit. When they're
Yeah.
ready to come up, man, we'll be here. We'll grill some hot dogs and have
Yeah.
a beer. It's going
Yeah.
to be great, you know? The other thing about Static that I want to ask about is, do you actually sing the word static at any point?
No.
That's right. But instead you say stay the same.
Yeah.
Right. Good job. Good job. I like that.
I was in the car and I was like, okay, because originally the title wasn't anything even remotely okay, I guess. It was just like a couple.
As in, like, you can't mention it.
Yeah.
Wait, what?
GFC.
Oh, what? No, that was
It was an acronym for something.
for something. It was it was never gonna be like the release.
Yeah, no,
name.
that was never going to be the release name, but we
Working
needed to think
title.
of a name
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because we would always record our songs in like
in like one file.
my studio,
Yeah.
and then we would call the file names random things.
Yeah.
Right.
And then
Right.
later on we'll just change it and we'll be like, okay, that's the title now.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
For that song, it was I just looked up like some definitions of some words and I was like, oh, that kind of sounds cool.
I love the honesty on
Yeah.
it. You're not like now that you've written it, you're not pulling from all these like different things. Oh, well, you know, I went through this situation and then
No,
there
I
was,
went
like,
into
a
the
dog
definition. I
and
went
all
into
this
the
stuff.
dictionary.com and I was like, what is
Thesaurus.
a synonym for the word same? And static was one of the things that came up and I was like, oh, cool.
Well, it works.
Yeah.
Like I applaud it. Like I like the idea that you have the title of the song be something that you are going to talk in some metaphor of or in some definition of, really, right? I mean,
Yeah.
that's what it is, and that's really cool. It's a neat device.
I was triggered listening to Static because ultimately at the very end of it, you were like, you're gonna stay the same. And then it makes me question, like, do I really want to stay the same? Don't I want to adapt and grow and change?
Yeah.
You triggered me, but in a good way.
Yeah.
I think that's the impact of your songwriting. It really makes you reflect back on yourself.
Yeah.
Is that what your intention was?
He's on dictionary.com.
Actually, this sounds good. And this works.
He's falling asleep.
Yeah.
He's just done his homework. You know.
Yeah.
Let's write this line.
Very realistic.
I write
Yeah.
the song.
Yeah. I mean, well,
For that
I'm just
song,
like,
it
whoa.
was for that song. It was just kind of I think I just finished doing history homework. And I was-
I'm in the room.
No, I was-
Shirley. I'm in there. Okay. I
Okay.
know. Actually, the difference is I never did my homework. I mean, like never. And don't follow my path.
Yeah.
But
You called it. Yeah.
No, I was kidding for that. It was just kind of like there's some people that I know that like they've obviously kind of changed, but not like a significant amount. It was just kind of people that when I wrote that song, it was a collection of a bunch of different people. It wasn't about just like one person. So when I say you, it's like multiple people. So for that song, it was You Will Always Stay the Same. It was how different people that I've known and I've broken ties with, they've changed, but in the same way, they're still the same.
right.
So that's what that lyric kind of meant to me, at least.
Yeah, I
Thank
can go
you.
in both directions too, can't it? All right.
That's the beauty of art.
Like
right?
what's the change in the person?
And then also
as well?
like the
And what-
history
and what
thing
is it-
was
and
also
what is the
kind of a
aspect
joke.
stays the same? I'm sorry. What was the last?
Oh, the history thing, because it was like people they don't through history always is the same.
That's deep.
History repeats itself, so that's also kind of what that was.
We are cyclical
multiple
people.
things.
This is true. Although I
Yeah.
do think that we're in an interesting place in time, you know. And someone said to me, we were at a function up in Berkeley on Saturday, and someone was like, you know, I'm really grateful to be alive at this time. And I was like, all right, good. Like,
Yeah.
hit me, And she was like, we are at a point where medicine and science is helping us to understand more about ourselves, more about how to live a longer and healthier life. And we still can enjoy the atmosphere. We can still enjoy the green grass. We can still enjoy the water.
Yeah.
And one part of me is certainly like applauding that, because I'm trying to myself like get, which it's very easy down here where we're at to enjoy nature. We're right in the middle of it. But,
Yeah.
like to pay more attention to it, because it's also easy to stay with my nose inside my phone doing all the stuff that I end up doing. But the other part of it, though, is like the fatalist aspect of that bothered me too. Like the idea that it is perhaps this is the last time we're going to be able to have this mixture, this cocktail of things that we can enjoy this and whatnot.
Yeah.
How do you guys, let's get deep, right? Like you are somewhat younger than me. We won't go there. But like, I'm not in your head. Like I could be your age. I remember what it was like in mine, and it was not the same, right? I mean, this is when, do you even know what AOL chat was? Okay, good.
Huh?
So, great. Thank you. So when I came to the internet, that was like, there was like, right, come on, people. There's someone out here that knows what I'm talking about. Come on. And it would dial through all this crazy noise, right? And then we would connect, and then we would talk junk on these things called AOL chat rooms, and that was like entertainment. That was the internet in my life, right? So you guys have lived a life where access to information was so readily available.
Yeah.
And one of the things that strikes me in my age is that so much of my developmental years, I had the same thing. I was like looking up to the elders, right? Is like I was looking up to older men and women, grandparents and whatnot, who were teaching me the ways of the world. And this is how things work, right? And now people younger than myself, about, again, I don't want to date it too much, but their access to information and their understanding of how to access information so far beyond the people who were like bringing me into the world, raising me.
Yeah.
It's really fascinating to me. So I don't know how to get inside your mind. Like, how do you see the future? Like, like I said, let's
How do I
get
see the
deep.
future?
Yeah. What do you see? What's ahead of us,
You want to
man?
go first?
What are you guys going
have
to do
no
to
idea.
fix our mess up?
You go first.
I don't know. What do I see for the future? That's what the question is?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
This is the essay, man. You got to turn this in, dude.
God.
I think, because my generation, at least, is already pretty stupid.
I'll take.
Thank you. I
And
feel
then-
so much better.
Yeah. Compared to like the older generations, I just feel like you guys were like a lot more knowledgeable and like had a lot more like you didn't have as much access to information. At least I don't think you did. But we like our generation, we know we have access to the information, but we don't like go out and seek it. We just like see something and we're like, oh yeah, that's it. So I think our generation is kind of dumb in that way. And then the younger generation below us, at least, I think is even worse.
Oh, God.
Yeah.
Well, that's because you've only seen the worst of it. On
Well,
the internet.
yeah. Well, not only on the internet, like my brother. Sorry, AJ.
Wow.
Yeah.
Dave, your interpretation of this.
So I want to kind of play off of what you said. Like, people don't seek information.
Yeah.
I would say some people do and some people don't. It's like almost like a 50-50. Some people just want to use the internet for like fun and entertainment.
Yeah.
And some people, they're invested in certain things. Not like, for me, example, I'm really interested in like learning music theory and production.
Yeah.
And so I spend a lot of my time, looking up certain tutorials or like, I don't know, tips and tricks videos
Yeah.
on YouTube. And yeah. And so you can use that information, and people do, but I don't know, I guess.
Yeah, but it seems like, how the majority of the people aren't really using that information to try to go out there and try to find their own. I mean, there is a lot of
Yeah.
people, but for me, at least, it just seems like the majority of them aren't.
How do you know?
Well, it seems like emphasis on seems.
Well, not everything is what it seems.
Oh,
You're right.
Yeah. But, I don't know.
But there are two different types of internet users: those who
Yeah.
seek information, and those who ultimately just use it for entertainment.
Yeah.
And in a bigger aspect, like a bigger perspective, is the barriers of entry to those things are becoming less and less.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Information, if you crave it, it's out there, but you have to like pursue it.
Yeah.
And that's kind of the advantage of y'all's generation.
Yeah.
The barriers of entry are very low to have access to that stuff.
Yeah.
Do you feel that the reason why they don't seek the information is because it's so readily available?
Partially.
Yeah, there's too many things to.
It's the privilege.
Yeah, it's like.
It's like, well, I don't have to
oversight.
worry about knowing this because all I have to do is just look on YouTube. right?
Yeah.
Yeah, that too.
Well, I mean, I do that for my homework at least.
Same.
We'll just cut this part out.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, and so now, like again, there was a passing down of information that used to happen. As a matter of fact,
Sure.
used to until just now,
Yeah.
right? It's how we developed. It was our evolution. So now that
Yeah.
you do have so much access to the information, so much understanding of how to access information, you feel that the generations are just pretty indifferent.
Yeah.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because
Yeah, what do you think about nature? Like, do you get out and hike or anything like that?
Yeah, I try to. I mean, I'm usually cramped up in my room, just doing like homework or recording sometimes, or just other things like that.
easy
But
to
I
do,
try,
man, I know.
I try to get out there and hang out with my friends or go on bike rides, things like that.
Yeah.
I have a question. How did COVID impact you last year? Like, did school shut down and you guys took breaks? Was that a good thing for y'all when it came to pursuing your interest, or were you like, oh God, more quick adaptation?
Well, my interest is like trying to play live music, so it definitely
yeah.
stifled my interest.
Yeah.
And
To say the
restricted
least.
it. But I mean, me and David were able to actually finish our song "Trust" last year and
Great
yeah.
song.
record that.
Oh yeah. We did that.
And we put that out, so it's on Spotify. Everyone,
And a video on YouTube, right?
yeah,
Yeah.
video on YouTube. And then I think the school thing that definitely was hard because I get a lot of my information or like from talking to people. It's kind of hard for me to like read. I mean, it's not hard for me to read. I can read, but it's hard for me to retain information.
Right.
And things like that when it's not like when I'm not physically there.
And experiencing it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, as far as like learning goes, it's definitely a downgrade.
Yeah.
But overall, I think for me the benefits outweigh the cons. Like number one, comfort of not leaving your home. Number two, I just have more time, to work on my personal stuff. Number three, I don't know. I'll have to think about it later.
There's a level of freedom in it as well,
Oh, yeah, that
right?
too.
That you get to experience. I don't
Yeah.
know. Have you guys heard of this idea of being a digital nomad?
I think so, but I already forgot what it was.
It's like this idea of being able to do whatever you want, and your office is like right in front of you. You get to. It's like a sense of freedom that our generation has like access to,
Yeah.
and in a way, COVID, I don't know, in a way, destroyed old barriers of how we used to work. Yeah.
Well, now you can be in your RV traveling the country, and as long
Yeah.
as you have access to internet at the speed that you require
You
or
can
is
do your work
required
and
to do your
stuff.
work, then you're able to be this digital nomad,
Yeah.
and make a good living out on the road, experiencing life, and being able to wake up and seeing Moab in front of you opposed to traffic on 101.
Right.
And so it's a great thing. Like I love the fact that this is happening, and there are a lot of companies. As a matter of fact, Ford I think said that they are not requiring 83,000 jobs. No longer have to report into the office permanently. They will not require this for forever again.
Wow.
And there are other companies announcing similar things to that.
Yeah,
as well.
IT companies, like a lot, like for example, my dad's work, they're exploring this idea of never going back to the office again because then they can cut down on rent And
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Love that.
Utilities.
Yeah.
You know, I
And the
mean, everything
productivity
that's
actually,
associated
like-
with leasing and maintaining an office building. Sure, it's a huge expense. You know.
yeah.
And it's also less of a burden on our power grid, and it's less of a burden on our infrastructure. Period, and less carbon monoxide or greenhouse gases being spewed out of mufflers and all that kind of stuff. So I think again, it's a great benefit.
Yeah, and you get to
Think about this as you move forward. Of course, if you're going to be musicians, you're going to be nomads anyway.
Yeah.
Which, so let's come to this, and then we might wrap it up, because I seriously think I'm getting frostbite right now. Like, when I first started, like, my own band, it was still, again, dating myself a bit. We had a website, but the idea was still, like, you play live and you work a market, and then you hook up with somebody who's like kind of already moving up and down, an area, a region, and then you like would kind of open for them on a little thing, and then maybe you got somebody's attention, right? And then it moved. You moved to do it. You burnt gas to do the thing. It's like now, as you think about like how does Z&D become something? Is it like, what are your thoughts? How do you see the evolution of the band becoming more than it is today?
I can start.
Okay.
Dave's like, I think about this.
So there's a bit of a grim reality. Basically, Zach is moving to Arizona, right?
Might be.
Or might be, right. But I am basically like 95% moving out to Boston to study in Berkeley.
Nice.
And
Congratulations.
well, I haven't been accepted yet, but
You're 5% away, and you feel.
yeah. Well, and yeah. So I don't know how we explored the idea of doing like remote sessions where he records at his house and then he sends them to me, and then we'll be able to.
We've already been kind of like testing that with
Yeah.
our song Music is My Medicine. So
Yeah,
That's-
we're
it's
recording
going-
that remotely.
pretty well.
So
so
that
far.
makes the idea of like doing a market of live shows even more of a less of a possibility, I should say, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Even less of a possibility. So walk me through that. Like, let's say that works out, that the song crafting, the recording process, all these things work out. How would you move that kind of a project forward? Because everyone's aware of the access to being able to do these things
Yeah.
remotely. So how would you move that forward?
Well, I would turn 18, get my license, and then probably fly to. I would try. I might, if we could play live.
It's a domestic flight, so it's pretty cheap.
Yeah. So I could probably fly to wherever he's gonna be, and then we could play and gig around and
You're
stuff.
determined to do it live.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He is.
You're the performer.
Yeah.
Yeah, I get it. I love performing. Somebody just asked me the other night, do you like songwriting more or performing more? I was like, performing. Absolutely.
Performing's more fun, but I feel like songwriting is definitely a thrill as well.
It is. It's terribly rewarding, but at the same time, there are moments where it can be, I find it can be, and I've written God knows how many songs, but it's like a little daunting still. It's like, man, you got this line and it kind of hangs with you for 3 days, and it's the vocal meter's just not quite right, but the thought is, and it's like, what do I do with this,
Yeah.
Whereas like performing is you get in the mindset, you hit the gas, and then you hope for the best, right?
Yeah.
And all that muscle memory kicks in while you're going, and everybody just, it's amazing, right?
Yeah.
And songwriting is not necessarily like that, except in your head.
Yeah.
Like you have the, that's amazing,
And
still
then you
going
talk
on.
to someone, they're like,
Yeah.
"Hey, man." Yeah.
All right, guys. So you're going to be back here on July the 31st.
Cool.
We'll put up some info on how people can find you, follow you. Yeah, David, you may or may not be here, right?
In Poland.
Yeah, you're going to be in Poland. So Zach, you're going to be back here. I
Yeah.
think we're going to be playing with you that
Oh,
night.
nice.
So we're going to work that out, some rehearsal stuff. Yeah, play with
Nice.
the house band.
Full band.
Yeah, back you up.
That sucks.
Okay, maybe I can just, I don't know, delay the flight.
Put you on a big
A lot of our,
screen
well,
over
because
here.
a lot of some of the songs that we play, like, or that we have been wanting to play, are full band things, and they
Yeah.
work a lot better full band, in my opinion. Some
Maybe
of them.
before you leave, we'll have a chance we'll try to get together and do a jam.
Oh, yeah, that'd be cool.
That would be awesome.
Yeah.
Cool. All right, guys.
Cool.
Well, thank you so much. It was
Thank
a
you.
pleasure.
Yeah.
And we're going to call it a night. Peace.
Cheers.